Hey y'all, I'm back. This video isn't my usual videos. I'm not giving advice to new fish keepers. I'm actually talking about my new fish. I mentioned in a couple earlier videos that I was going to get some ranchu, and that's what was going to be going in my new 40-gallon breeder. That's what I had planned on happening, and that's not what happened. I went to PetSmart Saturday to get some cat food, and I ended up looking at the fish, and I knew better when I went back there, but I had to. I spotted this gorgeous calico oranda from the middle of the store, and I had to look at him. So I went back there, and I was quite disturbed at how I found the fish in his tank. I was kind of watching. There was someone else there that was looking at him, and I was kind of standing back, watching him swim and stuff. And there was, I think, maybe 8 or 9 fish in this 5 or 10-gallon tank with him, and they were all pretty large, fancy goldfish. And I was watching him get pushed around and, be pushed into the filter, and I was watching his little tail get caught up in the filter. And they had just fed them, and all the other fish were eating, and he couldn't get to it because of all these other fish. It was killing me that I couldn't help him there. And then I was listening to the guy that was talking to the employee, and he had a bowl in his cart, and he kept talking about his 5-year-old daughter wanted to fish, but she didn't want just any old goldfish. She wanted a pretty goldfish. And he was looking at that calico, and the more that I listened and the more that I looked at that bowl, it was killing me not to just reach in and grab him and take him home. And it just so happened that his daughter was with him, and there was a dog that came up behind us with its owner, and she was going on about that dog. And he turned around, and they were talking to the owner, and the employee asked me if I needed anything. And I thought about it for a second, and I'm like, yeah, I need that fish. And that's how he came to be. I couldn't say no. I knew that if I left there, I wouldn't be able to stop thinking about him. And if I went back and he wasn't there, I would feel terrible that I let him go home in this bowl and with people that more than likely didn't even know how to take care of him. And there was also another oranda with him. It was being sold as an oranda, but I'm not sure if it is an oranda yet. It's still pretty young. It doesn't have a head growth really, so I'm kind of watching it to see if it really is an oranda, but I don't care. It was in there with him, and it was one of the smaller ones. It was kind of like him. It wasn't being, able to eat or anything. And they were really acting like buddies. Everywhere the calico went, it went. And I ended up getting both of them because I felt like if I was going to get the calico and I was going to take away his buddy, I didn't want to do that. That was just awful to me. And I ended up getting them both. I knew that if I didn't, I wouldn't be able to live with myself. So I got them, and today is Monday, and I've had them since Saturday, and they're doing, very well, surprisingly. As soon as I got them, and I, floated them for a while, and then I released them into this aquarium, they were ready to eat. They were, already looking for food, and I got out some of my rapashi, and they were going to town. They acted like they haven't eaten in forever. And I mean, goldfish in general eat all the time, but you could tell they were different, and they ate a lot that night that I brought them home. And then, the next day, once it was kind of late that day when I got them, and then yesterday morning, which would have been Sunday, I did a water change on the aquarium, and I added my usual aquarium salt. I keep that all the time, and then I added Prosy. As a precaution. I had some reservations about him. I was pretty sure that he had flukes, and as well as his buddy. So I went ahead and done my Prosy, and they haven't really paid any attention to anything that I'm doing. With the water change, they were playing in it, so that's a good sign. They were really active, and I was surprised at how well they adjusted. The calico has a curled gill cover, and when I show you the video, you may be able to see it. I'm not sure, but it was kind of alarming to me when I saw him. I wasn't sure what that was caused from. I wasn't sure if he got beaten up by the other fish or if there was something else going on. And turns out I talked to some people at the Goldfish Community Forum, and they assured me that it was probably nothing. It could have been a birth defect. I was curious if it could have been a fluke, and guess that's possible. So we're just gonna watch it and see what happens. It doesn't look inflamed or anything. It's just kind of slightly curled, and that could be nothing. And he doesn't, seem to be bothered by it, so I'm not really concerned about it right now. The other guy, he's done very well. They're always swimming together. I think that's just the cutest thing. I'm pretty sure that they're both boys so far. The way that they've acted and stuff, they seem to both be boys. So they both could be girls. I don't know, but they're not like trying to chase each other around and breed or anything. But I'll have to watch them the next week and see. But I'm like 90% sure that they're both boys. And I have named them. I named them actually in the car on the way home. I just thought of these names and I thought it was perfect for them. The calico I named Malachi. It's a biblical name, and I thought that he just looked like a Malachi. And then the other one I named Enzo, and he's dark in color, and he's very mischievous, and I just thought that was the perfect name for him. They've been doing, like I said, very well, and they're actually very responsive to me, which I thought was interesting. I figured that when I got them in here they'd be kind of skittish. They're not. When I was feeding, they actually came up, and was like brushing up against my hand, and they were kissing my fingers, and I was amazed that they, were doing that. But so far, they've been doing really well, and if you guys want, I'll start a series about them and how they adjust and how they grow. They're pretty, small. And they're kind of skinny in my opinion, which I have big fat goldies, but they'll be fat in no time. Especially the way that they're eating. So that'll be fun to see. But I'll hush now, and I'll let you guys meet them. They're super cute, and I just love them. So I'll let you meet them, and let me know if you want me to do a series. I'll be more than happy to do it, and I'll see y'all next time.